Love and light. Namaste, Ashe. So I'm going to read 444 has been coming out, and this is protection. So I'm going to read the angel whispers. This is your time to take confidence in all that you pursue. The divine universe is welcome through you, is working through you and protecting you. Time has come to allow all of the doors to welcome you with open arms. Affirmation: I feel the loving care of the divine protecting me. I allow myself to pursue growth and opportunities. So, you guys know that we are in Mercury retrograde, we're in Saturn retrograde. We're also in Uranus retrograde, which Uranus governs Aquarius, and there's some other retrogrades, but just focusing on Saturn, Mercury, and Uranus retrograde. So Aquarius energy, that's about friendships, and that's air energy. Okay, so there's always fake friend energy that comes out in these collectives. But with Mercury retrograde, you know how we talk about, things from the past coming up. So it's not really that people from the past come back or they come up to your remembrance. Mercury is the planet of communication. Okay, it governs Gemini and Virgo. So Gemini is more about the thought process, the speaking, the writing, and all forms of communication, right? Um, Reading, okay, that is a form of communication because something that was written was meant to be communicated, okay? This is communication that is stored in the book. Um, Now, Virgo, that is the logistics part of the communication. So, writing a book. So, writing is a form of communication, speaking it, but applying it to a book or posting something like a blog or something like that online, the logistics of communication, the strategy behind implementing how something is going to be communicated, whether you are implementing welcome in, Heidi. Welcome in, special. So, um, Heidi, your message is blocked. Okay. So I'm not sure why your message is blocked, Heidi. Okay. But if YouTube is blocking it, then I will remove it. Okay. So, Heidi, your message will be removed because I trust YouTube. Okay. Alrighty. So, let's see. Let's keep it going. Um, Mercury deals with speaking, thinking, and the magician's energy, you will see that is governed by Gemini, right? Gemini is governed by Mercury. Virgo is I know exactly what she was speaking. I know exactly what she was speaking. I'm not illiterate, and I am well versed in um, languages, okay? I am. You guys are quick to judge people, okay? And you're quick to assume that certain people don't know certain languages, okay? Um, That's what happens when you have a father who was born with 5 languages and teaches their children all the languages that they know, okay? Um, so Mercury retrograde, as I was saying, is not really about people from the past coming back, but pretty much people who, it's about the cycle of completion, okay? So the cycle of completion is when you have not completed something. So there's a karmic lesson that you haven't completed. There's a karmic lesson that you haven't learned. And it's not that these people even want to come back to you or that you're even calling them. It's about the energy is giving you guys the opportunity and the chance to finish the cycle. It's like finishing a cycle that has not been completed, okay? And when you haven't finished a cycle that has been completed, what happens is people say, Mercury retrograde, bad things happen, things break down, and whatever the case may be, but it's not a bad thing. Mercury retrograde is a good thing, okay? Mercury retrograde is like the grace for the things that you have not completed. Mercury retrograde is like where you have missed the mark and you have the opportunity to fix it. When it comes to electronics and things of that nature, I tell people, I say, pay attention to the signs that maybe your car was giving you prior to it breaking down. Pay attention to, a lot of people say that their appliances break, the cars break down, a lot of things, right? And it's like, well, was it due for service? Okay. Was it due for service? And that person that came back, was there reconciliation prior to them leaving? In a lot of cases, there was no reconciliation. The universe will push you into proper alignment. So shift or be shifted. So that's why Mercury retrograde, especially if you have a Gemini, sun and a Virgo moon, or vice versa, when Mercury is in retrograde, Geminis and Virgos, they get the opportunity to like operate in the spirit of excellence when it comes to communication quite often, okay? Because Mercury goes retrograde so often. With Saturn being in retrograde, okay? Saturn is the time where I tell people all the time, Mercury retrograde is more of a slow motion in your face type of energy, right? It is to give you the moment to actually reflect on the energies that are there. So Saturn governs time, responsibility, fellowshipping. It does govern Capricorn. So there is that element of Capricorn energy, structure, time, responsibilities with people, okay? So Saturn retrograde is really a time where the timeline seems to slow down. So a timeline that has slowed down is actually the grace. That is grace that is given to us, okay? So I have this affirmation that I have for Saturn retrograde. I honor Saturn's timeline. I honor the grace of Saturn's quote unquote um, slowness, right? I release the illusion of false timelines, illusions, and karmic weight. I return to truth and structure, which when Saturn, we call that Saturn's return. So when Saturn has done its 128 days of being retrograde, when Saturn returns direct, we return to truth and structure, okay? Now we have 128 days to actually get in alignment and get in balance with this. So the affirmation is I will honor truth and beauty because there is a beauty aspect in Saturn. Keep in mind, it governs earthly energy. There is beauty in people and the earth. Excuse me. Choose wisdom over illusion, okay? That's Saturn's energy. Saturn's energy is about time and wisdom, okay? And sometimes we are on false timelines, okay? Build a future with love and discipline in the spirit of excellence. The affirmation, I am thankful for the energy of Saturn, okay? So Saturn and Uranus being in retrograde with Mercury retrograde. There's other planets that are retrograde, but the three of these is just beautiful when it comes to relationships. When it comes to relationships, a lot of us right now, we're going through that shift, okay? And the shift of it is pretty much people always feel like, oh God, why am I going through such a horrible breakup? But keep in mind, if you're holding on to something that you don't want to let go of, it will be painful, okay? To have someone basically rip you away from it, okay? I tell people all the time, shift or be shifted, okay? Shift or be shifted. Shift meaning you go ahead, you make the decision, and you take the action to move where you need to be. Be shifted means that the universe is going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. Put things into proper alignment, right? But it's more painful to be shifted, okay? Let's see something here. So we've all heard about false timelines, illusions, or being on a dark timeline. You'll hear people speak about being in a dark timeline. Saturn pretty much illuminates the false timelines. Now, I worded it as karmic weights, illusions and karmic weights. But all in all, being in a karmic dark timeline, okay, that's where you are not in harmony. You're not in harmony with yourself. You're not in harmony with your community. You're not in alignment with yourself. And therefore, it's a form of not honoring yourself, okay? Self-sabotaging yourself, all right? I am open to the idea that I am the image of God. As such, I have the power to bring light into my life. I turn all the darkness in me into light. In the absence of complaints, anger, and hatred, I find harmony. And see, this is where people, they break down and they fall apart. Because when they are in the midst of complaints, anger, and hatred, like when people are being wicked, nasty, and when they are being hatred, right? Making hate statements, committing hate crimes, prejudices, performing fear tactics. A lot of people fold, okay? Or when someone else's anger and hatred, they absorb it and it causes them to lower their vibration and they start feeling less than a person. That's when harmony, you're not in alignment with harmony, okay? And so this message here is saying I am open to the idea that I am the image of God. God is love. God is beautiful. As such, I have the power to bring light into my life, okay? God is the bearer of light. I turn all the darkness in me into lightness. The darkness would be the self-sabotage. That will be the self-hatred because of self-imposed prejudices that are projected into your life, okay? The malice that is projected into your life. That's the darkness that when you allow that stuff to be absorbed in you, it becomes darkness, okay? And so once you open up to God, there are no more complaints, anger, and hatred, and you are able to find harmony, okay? When you are able to find harmony, then the positive thinking comes. And when the positive thinking comes, you're able to drown out all the negativity that's outside of your world. So if you look at this image, her head is in the circle of a white light, which could, this image, be the outline of the sun. It could be the outline of the moon, or it could just be the aura that is around her, okay? But the ethers is in the background, okay? Esoteric energies, that fire, okay? My life is full of little bits of light. I direct my thoughts to the things that bring me happiness, okay? My mind is gradually calmed by the light. The light is calming. The dark is scary to some people. A lot of people are fearful of the dark because they can't find the positive energy, okay? A lot of people are fearful of the dark because it seems scary and they don't know what's lurking, all right? Because we know that hatred, anger, and ugliness hides in the dark, okay? So we have joy and happiness, all right? I am like a child who finds joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in the spirit, okay? Not in material things. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. So happiness lies in the spirit. When your spirit is not happy, you're not happy. And when you're not happy, it shows because you show ugliness, right? Happiness is beautiful. And people who exhibit disgruntledness, unhappiness, okay, their spirit is not happy. So you can always tell a person's true nature by the behavior they exhibit, by the words that they communicate, okay? And right now, Mercury retrograde is giving people a second chance, or possibly a third or fourth, because we have multiple Mercury retrogrades. So for those of you who are quick to spit anger, nastiness out of your mouth, who are quick to come up with strategies to antagonize and implement fear tactics. That's that Virgo energy. That's the shadow side of Virgo energy. Or to take there are people who avidly seek knowledge and information only to use it as a weapon to expose people's insecurities or imperfections or things of that nature. So with Saturn retrograde, these next 128 days, especially these first moon cycle, Mercury retrograde pretty much lasts a moon cycle. It may seem really hard for a lot of people, but you have to use your wisdom. You have to use your intuition, okay? And that way you will know who's coming back for true reconciliation, okay? And reconciliation doesn't mean, hey, we have to reconnect the cords. Hey, we have to become tethered again. Although sometimes reconciliation does lead to a better relationship that is able to continue in harmony. But when people come back, reconciliation can happen. It should happen, but it doesn't mean that you have to uh, expose your spiritual boundaries so that then they can come back in because they may not have healed. That's the tricky part of Mercury retrograde. But with Saturn being in retrograde, you now have that up in your face wisdom, okay, to discern whether or not this is a healthy comeback or this is something that I need to just let fall by the wayside, okay? And one of the telltale signs is what these people are saying out of their mouths, okay? Because the way a person speaks, they're speaking, it's from your spirit. You can only produce what you have in you and what's available to you. So if people from the past come back and they're spilling hatred and malice and fear, pessimism and antagonism, then they're not there for reconciliation. Therefore, you let them fall by the wayside and you use the power of Saturn, that wisdom, to show you that this person is still on a dark timeline. Okay. The power of Saturn will expose the timelines that people are in. So you don't have to work as hard. So, and you don't have to be, have a Capricorn sun or a Capricorn moon to tap into Saturn's energy. You just don't. It's available to everyone, okay? Everybody on this earth has access to Saturn's energies, okay? That truth, that wisdom, and that beauty. So with Mercury going in retrograde, for those of you who have implemented business plans and things of that nature, or you have planned weddings, or you have planned milestones and events and things that you just never got to finish putting together or it never got off the ground, now is the time. Because in conjunction to Mercury's energy to allow you to see which T's you did not cross and which I's you didn't dot, Saturn's wisdom will illuminate those areas for you, okay? And also, Saturn's wisdom and the light of Saturn will show you whether or not that idea that you didn't finish, whether you're still in alignment with that project, okay? So we have harmony, positive thinking, joy, and happiness. And you guys, for these next 128 days, one step at a time, okay? I saw the mountain ahead of me and gave it my all, one small step at a time. I make progress by focusing on the present moment, the task at hand. As a result, I gain a good life. So this is the power of Saturn retrograde because it's like slow motion, okay? This is time's grace. Saturn offers time's grace. So for a lot of you, these next 128 days may seem to be the longest 6 months ever, okay? Now, the first 6 months of the year, I will say, seem to have gone by pretty quickly. Like I can remember me talking about things to come in December like it was last month. And here we are, it's July 15th, okay? So, one step at a time. Saturn retrograde is giving us the grace one step at a time. We don't have to be hasty, okay? Um, we have okay? I've never seen this one before. We have I accept that calmness rules me. I did not just talk about Saturn's grace does not, we don't have to be hasty, okay? This is like time slowing down for us. I accept that calmness rules me. My love for myself allows harmony to settle in my being. I listen, honor, and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. So listen to this. I listen. What are you listening to? Wisdom. You're listening to your intuition. I honor. What are you honoring? Yourself. You are honoring the power of the light that is in you. You are honoring the joy and the happiness that is within you. You are honoring the fact that you can take one step at a time without being hasty. And you are honoring the fact that you are calm by the light. Your mind is calm, okay? And you are honoring the fact that in the absence of complaints, anger, and hatred, you are at peace and in harmony, okay? We have unconditional love here. I have no resentment towards others. Saturn in return exposes the energy of resentment, okay? Saturn retrograde exposes the energies of resentment. So for those of you who are holding on to resentment, okay, there's energies of the past, Mercury retrograde that you can't seem to let go of. Unconditional love that you're about to embrace because you are going to accept the calmness that taking one step at a time offers you. You have no resentment towards others. Okay, that's what unconditional love would do. It allows Saturn retrograde energy exposes those energies of resentment so that we can let them go. I have no resentment towards others. I open my mind's eye and find the good in everyone. I see the pure child in everyone and I practice forgiveness. So you practice forgiveness. And what does practicing forgiveness means? It doesn't mean to go knocking down the doors trying to find everybody of the past that you feel like you owe forgiveness to, because guess what? You don't owe forgiveness to anyone but yourself. You practice forgiveness of yourself because when you commit an act that is not in alignment with yourself, even though you committed that act and you projected that energy to someone else, you committed that act towards you. When you spoke those hatred words towards another being, that's an act that you committed yourself. You committed the act of hatred to yourself, okay? So, forgiveness, you need to forgive yourself. Okay, because that person that you projected that hatred to, that was actually none of their business. That was you. Okay? That was definitely you. It had nothing to do with them. Okay? So it's time for you to be clever. Be clever. Okay? Wise people. Okay? They understand what cleverness is, okay? And using social media to expose yourself, the ugliness, to expose to the whole world how disgusting you are, it's not cleverness, okay? That's not wise. That is not beauty, okay? You being disgusting to someone else, that's you exposing you as being disgusting, okay? That's not embarrassing to someone else. You just embarrassed yourself, okay? God has a plan for me. I know good luck is coming. I learned from my experiences, took small steps in faith, and succeeded in all my endeavors. So, once again, we have taking steps, okay? So, you took small steps, aka one step at a time, all right? Be clever, okay? Don't be disgusting, okay? All right, let's see. Spirit, what are some of the what are the other planetary energies, okay? That is helping to empower people to embrace Saturn's energy. We have fourth house, okay? That's Cancer energy, that's the moon energy. That's home and family. So for some of you, if you are having discord in your home, in your family, okay, you may want to tap into that moon energy. And we have Lilith here, wild femininity. Okay, the moon is feminine energy, all right? Water energy, okay? Lilith. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Lilith energy, that is feminine energy. It's where the dark meets the light of the moon, okay? So Chiron is actually in reverse here, inner healing. So for some of you, I'm going to place this upright. And we have Saturn in reverse. We are in Saturn retrograde, okay? So limits and lessons. Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter is in reverse, okay? So there are karmic lessons, okay, that people are not learning that is causing them not to heal, okay? So prior to starting this message, I definitely was picking up on energies that are being projected to people who are grieving. Like I saw the image clear as day as people grieving, and it's like there are people who are, sending negative energies towards empaths, those who are empathetic and compassionate, right, towards other people. And the point is to actually make them think that the empathy and the compassion that they have is actually a sadness of their own. And this is to provoke or invoke the spirit of sadness, depression, low self esteem, and all those things that come with being heartbroken. But I didn't get right into that message because Spirit told me to take another route, okay, before I got into those energies. But I'm glad that this message came out. I always do what Spirit tells me to do. And because I had such vivid images of that message, I knew it wasn't going to leave. So for some of you, you got the game twisted, okay? Because one, don't humiliate yourself by assuming that people are ignorant, okay? There are a lot of people who think they assume that uh, you're illiterate, okay? And to be honest, these old, what do you call it? Um, these real uh, old folk, old folklore, um, racial slurs that people still use in the present age. What people fail to realize is that those things don't work like they used to, okay? Um, Especially if you can go online and target people that you don't know, you don't have a personal relationship with, and you just start throwing out. Because I was in a couple of people's lives, and people came in, and if they were brown skin, this whole monkey thing is going on, okay? A lot of people are using like the monkey as like, I guess that's supposed to be a demonic racial slur towards uh, melanated people. But at my age, um, that's not a racial slur, but I'm learning that it's supposed to be like something to hurt your feelings if you're melanated. So it's funny when someone thinks that they are antagonizing you and it doesn't work, right? Um, and especially since I live in the US, where racism is systemic, the systemic racism um, is what gets everybody, right? But the name calling doesn't seem to be effective, not to me anyway, because it just shows me how ugly people are. And I don't need anybody trying to prove their case or their point of ugliness still existing. I know it does. Okay. If you want to expose yourself as somebody who's ignorant and embarrass yourself, because this is just me, okay? I find it, you know, I would be embarrassed to speak a racial slur to someone because I think it's hurting their feelings, because um that's low lifers do that, right? Low lifers do that. Um and normally people who don't have anything speak like that. Like, that's just from my experience. I noticed, like, um yeah, so to each his own. I know it may upset a lot of people, and maybe that's why people do it, because, but I didn't realize that, like, it's a lot of racial slurs out here that I didn't even know were supposed to be hurtful and hurt my feelings, because I'm just not privy to them, okay? Because I'm not around people who that's what they do. And even, I guess, the movies and things that I watch, maybe they fly over my head, or maybe because I don't watch comedy stuff, where I guess that's where people are learning these things. Um, but people think that I have tough skin when it comes to racism, but honestly, I didn't even know that you were supposedly being racist. Or I didn't even realize that you were supposed to be hurting my feelings. Like, it's really silly. Like, people are just like, they weren't being nice. And I was like, people have so many trendy phrases and stuff. I can't keep up with them all. But I'm saying all this to say, I think that's why people are just like, whoa, like, you take racial slurs like it's nothing. And I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? And, people are letting me know, oh, that's not a nice phrase for people to say. And I'm like, oh, so my point is that you fail every time because I'm not watching these reality shows where people are so ugly and disgraceful. I don't watch that stuff. So I don't get to learn these quote unquote racial slurs and even the old stuff. Like, I'm not that old. So, we all heard the N word. We've all heard the pig and uh, I don't know that many. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't think about it. I don't consume myself with it. But Saturn retrograde here, a lot of people with Jupiter in retrograde and Chiron in retrograde here, up here on the table. There's a lot of karmic energy out here. We have Lilith and we have the fourth house, so that's Booth. And so what that tells me is there's a lot of dark energy. There's a lot of dark energy out here right now. And it's really coming from the people who don't want to heal. And so these next 128 days is going to be really, really tough. And there are going to be a lot of people who thought they had the upper hand by performing low life behavior, okay? Being lame ducks, okay? Womp womp, all right? But at the end of the 128 days, if you're not taking advantage of what these planetary empowerments have to offer, then, who's the lamed one, okay? So, being antagonistic and projecting energies to, poke somebody in an open wound. You don't have to believe in karma. And calling someone out of their name, it's not going to bail you out of the karmic restitution that you have to pay. Okay? Your what's supposed to be a fear tactic on people that are light workers. Be careful when you go to sleep, okay? Because I think you're the one that's actually scared, all right? So let me get back to the message that drew me here in the first place, all right? So for those of you who are embracing the energy of Saturn retrograde and Mercury retrograde, congratulations. And for those of you who are going to be spending the next 128 days in a painful karmic cycle because you willingly choose to operate in the shadows, in the darkness. Okay? That's your choice, actually. That's the beauty. That's one of the beautiful gifts that God has given us, the spirit of choice. We can choose what we want. And if you want to be happy and live a wonderful life, you can do so. And if you choose to, want to expose your own securities and your own fears in the form of AKA racial slurs and pessimism and projection of dark energies to try and break up unions. That's that energy that you are putting out there It's not a reflection of the person that you're trying to send it to. It's a reflection. That's you. Okay. We have energetic action here. Okay. I am focusing on my heart and doing what I can do right now. For what I can't change, I choose to let God and trust God. All right. Concentrate. I focus on what's inside of me. When negativity rises within me, I transform it into light and hope. So, this message, this is definitely to all of you guys who, um, you show the world your ugliness in the form of racism. You show your ugliness, how disgusting you are, in the form of projecting fear tactics into people's lives. To those of you who are just low lifers and you just want to be disgraceful by spreading lies and rumors to those who are operating in the spirit of excellence, this message is for you. Okay. Focus on what's inside of you. When negativity rises and you feel like you want to show the world that you're ugly, disgusting, disgraceful, and a lowlifer, transform it into light and hope. There's something new for you to try. Nothing beats a failure but a try. All right? All right, Spirit. Let's see, what message are you trying to give to me regarding the message that I was receiving earlier? Let me see, what was it again? It's a message about, it's in my description. It's a message about, and I actually think it's, so I know this is a collective reading, but I was specifically picking up on, this could be, this was one person's idea. So as far as the fake friends, yeah, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And the Strength card, all right? The Two of Pentacles in reverse. Justice and the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So, the message that I was getting about someone disguising as your enemy, right? Their enemy disguising as your friend, okay? This Three of Pentacles with the Strength card and the Two of Wands, I mean, that is exactly, thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to just pick up on that energy, okay, instead of having to lead to it. So there are people here that are not, they're acting as if you may actually work with them. You guys have some kind of connection as to why you guys are in each other's spaces, okay? There's something that you guys are working on together, whether it's, there is a project. Definitely there is something that you have in common that you all are dedicated with. So this is a little more than what a friendship would look like. For some of you, it could be co-workers, or there is some type of working relationship that you have where you have to come together. So this is not just a like a friendship where it's like a hey girl, hey, or what's up, man? You know, we can watch some football or watch the fight, or let's have a girls' night out. No, this is more than just a like surface level connection. You guys are actually have something in common that you're working on. But the Three of Pentacles in reverse, it's not a genuine connection. You guys don't get along. And the work is, whatever it is that you're working on, if it hasn't already started to fall apart, or if there's friction in it, it's because they're not genuine, okay? They're not genuine. And the strength card here, okay, fire energy. This is your energy, okay? You're very courageous. You're very brave. You overcome a lot of self-doubt. So when the red flags are here, right? You see the red flags, but your compassionate nature allows you to just oversee it. And you have seen more than enough. The sugar honey high C has definitely hit the fan. The two of swords in reverse, moon energy. We got the moon and the sun, and we have Mars. Okay, this is tension. This is raw heat. Okay, and you're just dealing with it so gracefully, because the two of swords, that means you have you have more than enough information to know, okay, it's time to sever ties. It's time to sever ties, but you're doing it so gracefully because you guys are not getting the work done. Why aren't you getting the work done? Because these people aren't really, really, really here to see this working relationship actually turn out to something beautiful, prosperous, and lucrative, which is not beneficial to them. Okay, so the two of swords in reverse, whatever it is, everything has been exposed. And like I said, here you are sitting pretty, just handling things so gracefully. And it takes a lot of courage to sit in the lion's den. And I'm not saying this to minimize your character, but just imagine, like, you know, I'm not going to say the lion's den. Let me find something else, because right here you tame the lion, okay? That's you. Your grace and your beauty and your compassion and your love, you are able to tame the lion, which is probably why they're not effective in taking you out. They're not. Okay, Libra energy. That's that Venus energy. Libra energy. That's that Venus energy. Okay. Justice, fairness, and equality. That's what you're covered in. So no, you're not going to finish this project with them, because they're not the ones that you're supposed to be building with. Okay. They're definitely not the ones that you're supposed to be building with. Okay. Why? Because they give no F's about you. And to be quite honest, I don't even think they can't love themselves. Okay? Because what you do to others is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Okay? This is a lack of fertility, the Ace of Cups in reverse. The Three of Pentacles, you're not producing nothing. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it will not come to fruition. Okay? Null and void. The Moon in reverse, it's all coming out. Any the inkling and the intuition that made you go, oh my gosh, something's not right here. The ground feels like it's shaky. It feels like it's moving. You can feel deception, okay? And your intuition is like, something ain't right. And you started to feel uneasy, right? And so mentally, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not in a good space. Well, guess what? That grace, that love and that mercy, the love that is the courage inside of you. You didn't run, you didn't flee, you didn't bow down, you didn't buckle down, you didn't do any of that. Why? Because the information, what they thought that they knew about you, the spiritual spying and all that, they thought that they had you trapped. I don't know what plans they had with you, but they thought they had it all, okay? The Hermit in reverse can represent misappropriation of knowledge, misappropriation of information. It's sometimes a lot of people say this is a lack of knowledge or not knowing or not seeking information. But in this situation, the Hermit in reverse, you have already gained this energy. This is Virgo, okay? This is representing that their strategic plan to take you down and out failed, okay? Sometimes when the Hermit is in reverse, it means that all the information and the knowledge and the strategies and the plans and the implementation to execute the information or the communication that they have acquired, Two of Swords in reverse, they're restricted from using it. Why? Because we have justice here. So whereas they were going to use something against you to quote unquote expose you, they got exposed. And now they're paranoid. And now they're trying to find a rock to crawl under and hide. I don't think so. Okay? Because this sweet, gentle person that you thought you were just going to flip upside down and shake everything up out of them, okay? It didn't work. It didn't happen. You didn't realize. You didn't even know who she was. You had no idea who you were dealing with. You saw her meekness and her mildness. And you said, ha ha, we got one. We got one. We about to run amok up in her life. We got her. We got one. We about to do what we want to do to her. Okay? We're going to drive her crazy. We're going to connect all type of cords of fear, abandonment, make her feel useless, hopeless, powerless, make her lose her cool, make her lose her mind, okay? We're going to keep her in the state of paranoia and feeling like she got to watch her back and watch her shoulders and look over her shoulders and all of this stuff. But they didn't know. They didn't know that the whole thing of the building together, you guys were never supposed to reap from it. Because Spirit already knew what you guys were going to attempt to do with her. You guys were just going to use her, suck her dry, drive her crazy so she can be messed up, hopeless, feeling lost, probably debilitated somewhere in a psych ward, whatever the case may be, feeling humiliated, embarrassed, whatever it is that you thought you were going to expose of her. This is what you thought. You thought you were going to reap from her. But justice and the star is divine intervention. So whatever it is that you thought you got from her, you didn't get. Okay? So look who's reaping. So this little mission failed because you guys had no intentions on actually growing with her. You just wanted her to feel like we made this thing happen and now we're going to pull back so you can fall on your ass, okay? And that didn't happen. The justice came out first. Spirit said it's time. Let's put a halt. Okay? Enough is enough. Okay? I've seen them embarrass themselves long enough. None of them are showing any remorse. The longer they go at it, the worse they're going to get. No remorse. Nobody at any point is saying, you know what, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this. Nobody's saying that. Okay? So guess what? Whatever it is that you were working on, God gave her witty ideas and inventions. She really blossomed once she realized, you know what? I got to get out of this. I see what I need to see. I know what I need to know. I feel what I need to feel. Justice, Libra, Venus, that divine feminine energy, okay, came out. The star energy, okay? Whereas you tried to make her feel hopeless and depressed and drained, okay? All this Ace of Cups in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, you guys were supposed to be working on something and she was pouring her whole heart into it. And then all of a sudden, it's like y'all pulled the rug from under her. You took back your resources. You took back, you act like you gave no F's. And before she can get depressed, lost, or feeling hopeless, when she said, you know what? I got to do this by myself. Okay? Let me do this by myself. Spirit said, no, you don't. Let me restore you. Let me give you new hope. Let me wash you clean. Okay? Let me wash all the smut off your brain, all the soot. Let me cleanse you from their filth. Okay? And now here's your Ace of Pentacles. Let me give you a whole brand new venture with all the resources that you need to accomplish this, okay? I already know you're a hard worker. I already know you can do it by yourself. They didn't know it. They think you're suffering, but you're not. You're getting it done, okay? A lot of people are like, oh, the Ten of Pentacles, you're stressed out, you're overburdened, you're this and that, you're struggling, you're this and that. Okay, for some people, yeah. They're struggling, they're burnt out, they're burdened. But this one right here, surprise, I could have already done this on my own. Okay? From start to finish. Foundation built by myself. I ain't stressed out. I ain't burnt out. Okay? Yeah, I was taken from granted, but I completed what I started. Me, myself, and God. Right here. Me, myself, and God. And I don't look burnt out. I'm not complaining. I feel good. Because I built the foundation by myself because that's the way it was supposed to be. The Ace of Pentacles. Spirit says, scratch that. God says, scratch that. Let me give you brand new everything. Let me give you a new idea. Let me give you new resources, okay? Because what they did while they thought they were being wise asses, that was one of the worst mistakes they could have made, okay? One of the worst mistakes they could have made. Four of Swords. I wanted to say Four of Spades. I really did. Spades. Libra energy, Leo energy, Saturn, and Jupiter. Kicking their ass, okay? There's nothing but harmony, disharmony, discord, mental anguish, They can't handle it. Look like somebody going to spiritual jail to me. That's what that looks like. Looks like somebody's going to spiritual jail to me. And they pissed. And they pissed. Hateful. Disgusted. Because they thought they were showing off. Thought they were showing off. They are an emotional wreck. Crying over how they crying as they walk away from what they knew was a good thing, okay? Because this strength card right here, I know this is representing energy, but this is how they saw this person. You see how she looks like, you know, she don't look all that interesting, okay? She don't look all that powerful. Although she got the infinity symbol over her head, she don't look all that powerful. Even though she is taming that lion, okay? She's showing that lion love, and that lion is giving her protection. That's courage. That is boldness. He got his mouth open. She has her hand on the top of his head and the other hand on the bottom. And she is telling him, close your mouth. And he's like, I'm not going to bite you. He got his tongue sticking out. I'm not going to bite you. I just want to lick you. Because right now I know you're in pain and I just want to soothe your pain. All the lies and the mental anguish and the torment, all of those things that you have gone through, you know, never judge a book by its cover, okay? And people claim to be high priestess and priestesses. If you can't recognize one when you look at one, you don't, I don't know what, I don't know. I just don't know. How you gonna be a high priestess and there's one standing, right? You've been dealing with one the whole time. Angel in disguise. Everybody don't brag and boast and call themselves by titles. They don't. Success. Success. Okay? Foundation has been built successfully. Spiritual protection has been there the entire time. Spiritual protection has been there the entire time, illuminating the way, okay? Illuminating the way. So, collective, you know who these quote-unquote frenemies are, okay? Because they've been exposed. And if they haven't been exposed, if you're saying you don't know or you're doubting it, let go of the doubt, okay? They're exposed. Two of Swords in reverse and the Moon in reverse. You know who they are. Don't act like you don't. Now, the beautiful thing about whoever this person is, I'm just picking up this real meek and mild energy, just lovely. But see, anyone who can tame a beast and get them to be your protector, and they receive your gentle touch, and you guys have built a bond where they're not going to hurt you at all, That's very powerful. And that is someone to be afraid of. Or that's someone that's someone you actually you want to be good friends with. Okay? You don't necessarily have to want to be afraid per se. But if you're thinking about trying to send dark energies and fears and project fears or set them up, like saying, let's start a business together or whatever this is, this something was being trying to be built, okay? Whatever it is, can you imagine someone offering you giving you a proposal? Let's start a business. Let's do this and let's do that. And you guys make an agreement. You guys agree. You sign the papers. Everything is done. Everybody got their. And then right at the moment, right at the pivotal moment, these people strategically pull away with the intentions of you falling flat on your ass or falling on your face. That is just ugly. And you've done nothing to them but just be you. Now, I'm not saying you're perfect, you don't make no mistakes. No. What I'm saying is you have not shown them anything but support, comfort. You added your fair share of resources into this thing, okay? And yet they stab you in the back and they don't care. In the midst of, you see that they're not perfect. You see that they've done things that have put them in a low vibrational state. You've bailed them out of sicknesses and tough situations, okay? And look at this. For some of you, this is the couple who did this to you. They're not even spiritually in alignment. They're not equally yoked. They're not even in spiritual alignment. They don't even have their affairs in order. Yet you came with your skills, your expertise, your loyalty, your commitment, and your dedication. You did all that you were supposed to do. You did all that you were supposed to do. Okay? And then right when it looked like you were seeing some satisfaction and getting some enjoyment, reaping the fruits of your labor, then they pull the rug from up under you. Okay? And then they act like, yeah, I'm the man. And then they celebrate. You know, they celebrate your fall, okay? They celebrate the fact that right when you were benefiting, rightfully so, just like all of you were supposed to be, reaping from the work that you put in. Then you have to give up. They put you in a 7 of Wands state, okay? This is you saying, you know what? What is the point? What's the pleasure and the joy of just standing in front of this brick wall and then punching it, okay? I'm not going to punch through it. My fists are not going to go through the wall. I have to let this one go. And when you realize that, they celebrate it, okay? They counted it all joy. Yeah, we run her. We showed her. We in control. And they celebrated it, okay? Because they felt like it was a job well done for them. I tell you. They celebrated. Because they're just like, we good. We already knew what we were going to do. We already knew what we were going to do. This is a couple. But they're not even on one accord. Okay? Ace of Wands in reverse. They did all that. Now they feel like, woo, that was a lot of work here. But guess what? You did all that for what? Because she's still holding her own. She still got her own. She's still maintaining her own. It took for you guys. Y'all had to come up against her. Okay? She had no idea about this self-sabotaging idea that you guys had. And it's to do what? Out of what? Just to see her fail. Like, why? Let me see something here. There is... Where is that deck? All right, Spirit, tell me some of the things. I didn't realize 116, I didn't realize this was going to go on. Tell me some of the things that were going on with this couple. Because this is crazy. I don't even know if I want to use this deck. Copycat. Falling apart and falling into pieces, okay? So, emotional intelligence in reverse. We can see that already. Watching shit go down, enjoying the gossip. That's the three of cups energy. Like, they saw things once they saw everything fall apart because they did it. It's like watching the bridge burn, knowing that you set the bridge on fire. Like, and then you sitting back gossiping about it, okay? You sitting back talking about how, yeah, look at what we did to her. We started this contract with her, and right when things were about to get good, hello, for everybody, it's like, but we just wanted to see her fall. You celebrated too soon, okay? And then what you thought you were going to see, you thought everything was going to fall apart for her, but things actually fell into pieces. How and why? And see, that's where they're blown. That's where they are blown. They're blown. I just don't understand. They're blown. The Magician, the Star, and Justice. You wanted to see her fall apart, but things fell into pieces. Joke's on you, okay? And now look at you. You know you messed up, okay? And then you're going to act like you didn't know that it was going to go down this way, right? And when she's just like, oh, no thank you. I'm good without you guys. See, you guys thought you were kicking her to the curb, so then you can come back and then act like you're going to rescue her just to do it all over again. No, you guys end up getting kicked to the curb. Because something about her, yeah, you thought you were not going to get caught. You thought that there won't be any evidence. She won't be able to prove that this is what we did. She won't be able to prove. So let's act like we're sorry for what happened. Let's act like we're sorry for what happened. Okay? We're going to act like we're sorry for what happened. But damn, how did she come back like that? Why is she acting like nothing is bothering her? This is what they were waiting for. Okay? Where is that car? Shit's about to pop off. And they had their popcorn and they're waiting. Look. This is what they were celebrating. Situation's about to explode. Watching shit go down. Enjoying the gossip, right? What's the gossip? They were all talking about how, oh, it's about to go down. Shit's about to pop off. It's about to go up in flames. Like I said, they lit the bridge on fire. Okay? So they thought they were going to sit back and watch her perish on that bridge. Okay? This is crazy. This is the setup. All due to being envious. You're envious of this person. Okay, so what is it that they envy? Because I need to know. Is it that much envy in the world? Okay, like seriously, is it that much? What is it about this person that they envy? Because this is it that much envy in the world? Oh, Two of Cups. Four of Wands in reverse. Five of Pentacles in reverse. The Devil and the Wands. And the Death. So you know what this is telling me? Okay. They're trying to disconnect her. Once again, they're working on another plan, another plot. Okay. And this time to attack her love. Okay. So this person is in a union that they're trying to disconnect. Justice just keep on coming out. Libra. Venus. She is protected by Venus, and I don't think they know this. She's protected by Venus. They are trying to discourage a love union. They're trying to break up a love union of hers. Okay. The Devil with the Death card in reverse. That's dead energy. With the Ace of Wands. This is them working on another plan. This is them working on another plan to attack her love life. So they tried to attack her finances and her business. And now this is definitely... Let me be careful what I say. Didn't I say Spirit gave me that image of astral traveling? Okay, the Page of Swords and the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Nine of Wands upright, the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse. The Queen of Swords in reverse, okay, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So what all of this information is saying, someone is projecting in the spirit realm, causing delusions, okay, and making someone, so in someone's dream state, the Nine of Swords in reverse, like this is the projection of causing someone to be overwhelmed by what's coming in their dream state, okay? The Page of Swords. So they're definitely sending information. The Devil, the Death card in reverse, the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Hierophant in reverse, okay? So they're sending someone false information, okay? Um, and what's crazy about it is um this person is actually being tormented in their dream state, okay? This is this person's person. Excuse me. This is this person's person that they're going after now. Okay? So they tried to attack her business, okay? But that didn't will. Spirit intervened. And so we got the Two of Cups here with the Four of Wands in reverse. They're trying to break up a union here, okay? A real one. And they're astral traveling in someone's dream state. This person's dream state, okay? And they're planting little seeds in their head, okay? To confuse them. Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay? So that when they wake up, this person is distraught. And they feel like they have received revelation. But they have not. High Priestess in reverse. They're receiving misinformation that is being sent by these frenemies that have been exposed. But so, like I said, she knows this feminine energy keeps coming out. So the Nine of Cups here, okay? I will say this. The fact that the Two of Cups is upright with the Four of Wands in reverse, these people, this connection, okay, they may not be married yet. There could be an engagement or an engagement coming, okay? They may not live together. So so I'm not going to say it's easier for them to attack this person, but the fact that they don't live together, these people, and by the way, if you haven't caught on yet, they are dark workers, okay? They're dark workers. The Devil with the High Priestess in reverse and the Hierophant of reverse. I'm going to try to say this. They don't believe that light prevails, okay? They're definitely operating in the shadows, all right? So this energy here is definitely the energy. They're attacking this person's love, their loved one. And because this is a she, they're attacking her masculine person, okay? In the dream state. And this person is not sleeping well. And they are questioning. They're filling their dream, they're filling their head up with all kinds of lies and misconceptions and things that are hurtful and harmful, okay? They are. Now, these people have not been doing this. They didn't just start doing this yesterday. But I'm still, now it's been exposed, okay? So now that if Spirit revealed to her their plans with her business, Spirit should have also, so Spirit, I'm sure Spirit has revealed to her that they are attacking her person, okay? But they're attacking this person through their dream state. And it looks like that they have people working with them. Okay? They do. They have people working with them. right, you guys, that is the message. Till the next time, with love and light. Um, I am going to wait a second. Before I was gonna end this, but I wanted to, because let me see if I can get more information about this. Because I know it's a feminine person, and they're not an older person. All right, what other I want to identify this person a little bit more. Oh wow. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to identify the feminine energy, okay, that's being attacked by the frenemies. What deck do I want to use? Okay, I have the Zodiac deck. All right, Spirit. What give me the sign of the female with the frenemies. Aries. Give me one more for the female. That powerful person. Tell me more about that powerful person. Saturn and Moon. Okay. So we got Aries, Capricorn, Moon. Okay. Someone can have an Aries Saturn. An Aries Moon. Cancer Moon, Cancer Saturn, Cancer Mars. Okay. All right. Or you can have Cancer, Aries, or Capricorn anywhere as your sun sign. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me get a little bit more information. Let me see. Let me use my karma cards and see. Let me see. All right, Spirit. Tell me more about this powerful, 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 powerful human being that two idiots, two lame ducks, and whoever else they got in their little flying crew. We got Mercury in 5th house. So Mercury governs, as we talked about before, Gemini and Virgo. And then 5th house is Leo. That's crazy. So we got Venus here. Venus governs Leo and Taurus. Someone can have a Taurus moon, a Libra Venus, Aries Venus, or Capricorn Venus. Okay. Gemini Venus, Virgo Venus, Leo Venus. What do we have here? We got 8th house here. Okay. As a life or death issue. Like I said, I don't want to say too much, but her person, okay? Leo. Her person is a Leo. They wanted to do some ETH day. spell work on this person. So they just wanted to wipe him out. He ain't even got nothing to do. Yeah. Virgo. As a full-time job. Do it a little at a time. Okay, so this Virgo, uh, this, oh, Aries. Okay, so, your desires. Okay, so they envy your desires, Aries, and they weren't expecting you to have the energy to meet the challenges that they set before you. Um, but you were able to do so with such grace and eloquence as a result of your honesty and strength. Okay? And that's what that strength card was about. They just saw you as, oh, she's so sweet. Oh, she's, charming and very creative and beautiful. Okay? You're a person who, seems to enjoy life and things of that nature. You cherish your life. And it's unfortunate that people envy that. Okay? It is unfortunate that a person can envy someone because they're honest, courageous, and charming, creative, and beautiful. Okay? But there's definitely a Virgo involved. Some Leo energy involved, and Mercury, which governs Gemini and Virgo both. So these are the signs, okay? I still kind of feel like they tried to cloak their energy though. But if this resonates with you and then you know. Now you know something extra. They're astral traveling in the dream state of your person. There's someone who you love and you're in connection with, and they're astral traveling into their dream state to plant all types of fearful and ugly things in their heads so that in attempts that they would leave you, okay, and fill their head up with delusions and confuse them about you. But what you're going to do is, now that you know, you're going to speak against that. You're going to pray against that. Okay? Because that person has, now you're just picking on people who, you don't even know this person. Okay? You should not be doing that to her, but then you're going to go do that to her person. That is none of your business. Like spiritual invasion of spiritual privacy, that's breaking all types of spiritual laws and things of that nature, on top of the fact that you're not trying to heal anyone or make any lives better. You're just mad that you couldn't get to her. So it's like, Dad, we couldn't break her the way that we wanted to, so let's go attack her person in their dream state. That's astral travel. They won't know who we are. They'll think it's real. They'll think it's coming from God. No. God will never send you dreams to make you paranoid, terrified, confused, heartbroken. No. God doesn't send you messages of lies. Never. That's not the nature of God. I mean, we know that there are gods who operate in that, but not the Reiki, not the not the life force, supreme being, creator, universal energy, divine love, divine power. Not that God. Mm-mm. All right, you guys. If you want a private reading, which some of you have already read the description before you even clicked on the video, it's there. The description is there. If you want to book a private, um, please email me first before sending the money. Any money sent prior to you communicating with me, it's a donation, okay? Has nothing to do with booking a reading, because people send tips and donations or whatever the case. People send all the time without requesting readings, okay? That's the nature of it, okay? People send super thanks and people send whatever the case may be. Um, so so because they like the readings or they like the reader or it resonates or whatever the case may be. So I'm just letting you know that you need to we need to agree on the booking. We need to book the reading first before you send your payments. Turnaround times have been, I found a way. Don't you love it when you find a way for things to be like less time consuming? It's just awesome. I mean, even if I have 5 readings a day, man, I can knock that shit out. I just figured it out. It's just that and you guys don't have to wait long. Once you have a little system going, when it works, it works. And then also the key is you already know the turnaround time when the person books your question, because you can look at your schedule and you already know. Now, some things happen. Okay, like I don't sit around waiting to see if somebody is requesting a reading. Nope, I don't. I only check once a day, okay? And then I let you know that I have received your reading, okay? I have received your request. And then we take it from there. Once I acknowledge that I have received your request and I say, okay, let's proceed, I know when you're going to get your reading back, okay? And I don't respond to the next person until everybody else is done. So that's what's great. That's the method that I use. I don't respond to the next person until everybody else is done. So if 3 people send within the same minute, okay? And based on my schedule, I can get all 3 that day. The first person who sent their payments, they get theirs first. I know how much time it's going to take for me to do the reading. So therefore, I know how much time it's going to take for me to get to the second person. And vice versa. So if 3 people request within the same minutes, okay, I still know when that third person is going to get their reading. Because I know what my schedule looks like. I know what I have to do. I know how long the reading is going to take based on what you request. I know if I can get started on it now or later. So, and first come, first serve. I'll respond to that first person. I'm not going to respond to the second or the third person, although all three of them sent their requests literally in the same minute. I'm saying this because I've had this happen. I've had three, literally, I got three requests in the same minute. But it goes in order. The person who paid first gets their reading first. So I don't respond to the next person until I'm done with that reading, okay? If that makes sense to you guys, okay? Now, if you request a reading and you don't hear back from me, don't send any money. Sending any money is not going to get your reading faster. Sending money will get you a I don't know, you might get a refund until I'm ready to get to you. But on that note, you guys, follow your intuition. Now's the best time to trust your intuition, just like all times. But embrace the spirit of Mercury retrograde and Saturn retrograde. And Uranus retrograde, now is the best time to make friends, good ones, new ones, reconcile with old ones. It doesn't mean that you have to be besties again, but reconciliation is a part of healing. I will rather reconcile with everyone from the past and let there be water under the bridge, because I will be comfortable if I never spoke to them again. It will be okay because we have healed through reconciliation, okay? Remember, healing is the key. That's what we aim for. All right, till the next time, with love and light. Namaste, Ashe.